Kitco News. Gold and silver prices are sharply lower in early U.S. trading Friday on recent breaking news that Russia may be willing to sit down and talk, namely with China, on the escalating the Russia-Ukraine war that began this week. The situation is still very fluid, but the metals market will likely continue reacting to the latest news headlines on the matter. Gold hit a 1 until 5-year high and silver a 7-month high on Thursday. April gold futures were last down 2009 and 60 at 1 cent, and March Comex silver was last down 0.517 at 24,165 and once. The Russia-Ukraine war changes on the front burner of the marketplace to end the trading week. There is still risk aversion in the marketplace. However, it can be argued that marketplace anxiety is not as high as it was early Thursday, amid the report Russia may negotiate. Also, U.S. and Western countries' sanctions against Russia are being deemed not as severe as expected, including the sanctions on Russia, crude oil or natural gas industries. Also, President Biden reiterated Thursday that the U.S. has no plans to get the world most powerful military involved in the Russia-Ukraine war. In other words, a major economy of the world will stand by and watch the war unfold. Will the likely outcome a complete Russia takeover of Ukraine? As the marketplace continues to discuss this matter, a main worry remains a mistake might be either Russia or NATO that would suck the West into the conflagration. Some of the market that had initial extreme price movement have retracted much of those price moves, including U.S. stock indexes, gold, grains, and U.S. Treasuries. Gold is the most notable example. The safe haven metal rallied to a 1 until 5-year high of 1976 early Thursday, but has dropped sharply since then and is presently trading just above 1,019,000. Some gold traders fear that Russian President Putin may have to sell some or much of his vast gold reserve to support the depreciating Russia's currency, the ruble. Russia's stock market also tanked Thursday at a point, losing half its value before rebounding. Bitcoin and the other cryptocurrencies have stabilized Friday after suffering initial losses at the start of Russian invasion of Ukraine. Gold price is not racing toward in Europe. Here's the real season it move up. Alan Corbin Steel commodity market traders realize Russia and Ukraine are major producers and world suppliers of many major raw commodities, including metal and grains. A Dow Jones Newswire headline this morning reads, Ukraine war means another supply to global economy, the last thing it needs. Look for many raw commodity prices to remain elevated, even if their spike hikes Thursday may not be reversed. The key outside markets to the sea, NYMEX crude oil price posting mid losses and trading around $92.50 a barrel. The US dollar index is a bit higher after hitting 1 until 5-year high Thursday. The benchmark US 10-year Treasury note is presently yielding 1.95%. U.S. economic data due for release Friday includes personal income and outlets, durable goods order, the pending home sales index, and the University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment Survey live 24 hours gold chart. Technically, the April gold futures bulls have the solid overall near-term technical advantage, but appear is also in need of a brief pause. Prices are still trending up on the daily bar chart. Bull's next upside price objective is to produce a close in April futures above major resistance at this week high of 197,650 Bull's next near term. Downside price objective is pushing future price below solid technical support at 180.15. First resistance is seen at the overnight high of 1925, and then first support is seen at this week low of 1878.90 and seen week of market 1. March future bulls have the frame overall near-term technical advantage but a period in the need of a price pause. Prices are in an uptrend on the daily bar chart. Silverberg's next upside price objective is closing a brace above solid technical resistance at this week high of 25.67 at once. The next downside price objective for the burst is closing price below solid support at this week low 23.71. First resistance is seen at the overnight high of 24.525 and at 24.7055. Next support is seen at 24 and then at this week low of 23.71 week of market 65. Technically, the April core future will have the solid overall near-term technical advantage but appear exhausted in the need of a price pause. Prices are still trending up the daily bar chart, but next upside price objective to produce and close in April future above major. U.S. economic data therefore released Friday includes personal income and outlets, durable goods order depending home sales index, and the University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment Survey. Some of the markets that had initial extreme price movement have retracted much of those price moves, including U.S. stock indexes. Gold, grain, and U.S. Treasuries gold is the most notable example. The safe haven metal rallied to a 1 until 5-year high 1976.50 early Sunday, but has dropped sharply since then and is presently trading just about 1,090,000. Some gold traders fear that Russian President Putin might have to sell some or much his vast gold reserve to support the depreciating Russia currency. The Russia stock market also tanked Thursday, at one point losing half its value before rebounding. Bitcoin and the other cryptocurrencies have stabilized Friday after suffering initial loss at the start of Russian invasion of Ukraine. Gold and silver prices are sharply lower in U.S. trading today. A recent breaking news that Russia may be willing to sit down and talk, namely with China, on the escalating the Russia-Ukraine war that began this week. The situation is still very fluid, but the metal markets will likely continue reacting to the latest new headlines on the matter. Gold hit a 1 until 5-year high, silver a 7-month high on Thursday. April gold future will last down 29.60 at 191 cents, and March Comex silver was last down 0.517 and 24.165 and once. The Russia-Ukraine war continues on the front burner of the marketplace to end the trading week. There is still risk aversion in the marketplace. However, it can be argued marketplace insight is not as high as it was early Thursday. Amid the reports, Russia might negotiate. Also, U.S. and Western country sanctions against Russia are being deemed as severe as expected. And Western country sanctions against Russia. Also, President Biden reiterated Tuesday that U.S. has no plans the major economy of the world will stand by. Some of the market has held the inline extreme price movement. Core price is now retreating toward in Europe. There is the recession if